Welcome.
Welcome, babe.
Once again, one more time for the people in the back. Welcome to Date Night with the Crafts.
Yes,
I am your host,
yes,
Justin Craft, and my lovely co-host,
yes,
Kiara. It is now above me, Craft. So welcome again, as always, even though we ride together here.
This is episode 3.
This is episode 3. Yeah,
Yes.
you're right. Sorry for cutting you off about that.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
We just want to do something fun this episode.
Okay.
So last time we talked about our origin story, and then we talked about how to make your relationship last, like some of the things that we found over the years to be helpful. So this one we wanted to be more fun, right?
Yeah, the spice.
Yeah, I want to add more spice to it because Justin said that, it's also,
There could be a
business,
right?
not enough pleasure.
I want to say that I love the topic of this episode, so there might have to be a part 2, and there would probably definitely have to be a sequel because I could see like this one.
It could definitely break off into some other conversations.
Yeah, because it is a lot.
Yes.
Yes.
So let's get into it. So there are a lot of myths about marriage.
Right.
As it relates to intimacy and sex. Let's say that, right?
True.
So some of the ones that I've heard about sex after you get into a relationship or after you get married. So after you close the door on the single life, so to speak, that the intimacy starts to dwindle.
Right.
And
Which is weird, but
it happens.
But it does happen.
It does happen. Or that you lose attraction. I can't say that I've ever stopped being attracted to you.
That would be hard.
What? For me to be unattracted? Oh.
Just stop being attracted.
It's like that?
Yeah,
because you're just so
really,
damn adorable.
That'd be really hard. But no, I get you.
Whatever.
I get you.
So, and then the other one is that you stop having sex altogether.
Jesus Christ. That's so fucking crazy. But, hey, let me just say this right now. On average, a healthy relationship, you're going to have sex 68 times a year. That's the average.
But there's been times where we've had more sex than that.
No, that's the whatever.
Well, we're not talking about the, everybody else.
Right.
We can only speak through our lens, right?
Right.
And we've had times and situations where it's more dapping each other up than
to take care of you.
Yeah.
To take care of, all right, come on, let's get that type of shit. Yeah, all right, come on, hold on, yeah.
But, I can't say that we've ever lost intimacy because even if we not necessarily, this is going to be a little TMI conversation, I suppose, but this is the show.
Yeah, it is what it is,
It
man.
It is. We overshare at times, so sorry. But we've had our moments. We have the ups and downs where you fucking every day, and then you have your moments to where,
life creeps in. The job creeps in.
And
other bullshit.
You've been talking shit all day about what you're gonna do, and then you lay in the bed.
That's your ass. Kara's really good for that shit. She'll be like, man, yeah, we're gonna do this shit. I'm gonna do this, and she'll send a calendar invite, or she'll send like some type of.
Let's hear about this calendar invite.
So Kara likes to send calendar invites like you would for a meeting.
Yes.
But it's for dick appointments and shit like that.
Yes.
And it's funny and it's so entertaining.
But you always
and it's so
accept
cute.
them.
Yeah, and it's so it's a reoccurring thing. It's been reoccurring since like 2015, I think, the last one we did. So it's funny, but yeah, she'll talk all this shit, and then 8 o'clock she's laying in the bed. That's 9 o'clock. Yeah, she's turned over on the side and she's gone. But that's just
wait. That's not the truth. I get into bed, and by 8 o'clock, you're gone.
That's from your perspective.
Yes.
But it happens back and forth.
It does.
Because you don't remember when you go to sleep. Just remember that you don't.
I know that I go to sleep after you, though. But anyway, these are myths. Every situation is not the same. I can say that I can relate to that sometimes. But that's not the rule of every relationship, that your sex doesn't have to die or take a back seat to the relationship just because you get into a relationship. There are ways to still maintain that spontaneity.
Yeah.
Like I said, sending you the Outlook invites.
Right. Yeah. There has to be items that you add. There has to be things that you create. People always struggle being this monogamous relationship. They do. People.
Can we be honest? I struggle with monogamy.
Everybody does.
I do. I think that is fucking unnatural. But I know that that's a requirement of this relationship.
Right.
So I respect that.
Right.
Right. But for people always act like just because you get into a relationship the person that you were before then, the person that liked having variety, the person that liked having blah, 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 that ends as soon as you say I do, and then you become this very faithful.
I like the way you put it. It's just like, look, my hoish ways are going to stay the
it's
same.
like, I'm a hoe, and then I say I do, and automatically my sins are cleansed, and I'm this devout. No, it's work. You know, you have to work to become. I had to work to become the wife that I felt like you deserved, and it's still, even with you, I can say it takes time. You know, but you work on it. But I can't say that I've ever become sexually bored with you.
Right.
We've found ways in our relationship to make it new and to continue to add new things even after being in this relationship for 2 decades.
Right. And you have to do that, you know, and the thing is, you know, you have to, it goes back to our other episode where you have to accept people for who they are and where they're at. And that still applies to that, because you have to be able to go, you know something, let's try this. And it's a non-judgmental zone.
But you know what I don't get though? And one thing I don't understand are people who are sexually adventurous. Let's say a man who's sexually adventurous, like he, you know, is used to having hoes, and then he marries this chick who's a prude, who feels like sucking dick is some sort of violation or demeaning. Yeah. But he feels obsolete. Like some way, because she becomes his wife, that she'll change and become this freak for him. Yeah, that never works. No. That never works. You know, and you meet so many guys that are like that. They get the wife, and they put her in that glass jar. It's like she's a porcelain doll. Yeah. You know, and they put her up on the shelf, and they go, look, my perfect angel. Yeah. And then they go, all right, well, now this weekend I'm going to go off and, you know, get these little hoes on the side. Why is that? Like, why wouldn't a man marry a woman that he's sexually compatible with already and have sex with that woman versus marrying a woman who he feels would just be good for his life and then go fuck other women? That I've never understood about a man. Because
men fear that whole thing of getting with the woman that has a certain sexual appetite like that, that they can't control her. That's one fear. Remember, this is a layered question. Yeah. There's like about 20 different answers. Yeah. The biggest one is not being able to control that woman. They think that appetite.
So he feel like she'll do that.
Yeah, because he's like, your appetite matches mine. He's like, oh,
and I know how I am.
Yeah, so. You get scared now. You're like, shit, you know.
But why doesn't it click that damn if our appetites match, maybe it can make for an explosive situation?
Yeah, for some reason, a lot of guys, I'm going to say this, a lot of guys that don't have that sexual IQ that we talked about, that sex, like we'll get to that later. Yeah. But that whole understanding.
Sexual IQ is sexual intelligence. Right. Like it's understanding sexuality, your sexuality, the sexuality of the person that you're in a relationship with, and being able to understand and identify with where they are sexually and what they do.
Yeah, it's the matching of drives. Yes, you know, like you get with someone and they're like, man, I like to fuck all the time. Anytime I can do it. I like to do this. I like to film myself. I like to do all this shit. And you're just like, yeah, I don't like doing any of that, but I think we'll work out. Yeah. And it's like, nah, that shit is not going to happen. That shit is you're going to bump heads. And then one day she want to do some really crazy shit and it's going to turn you off. You know, that's just not, no.
But, well, I just want to say that brings to the segue or to the title of the show. The title of the show is called Freaky Tales.
Oh, we just now got to the fucking title?
We did.
We've been talking for a long time.
Well, remember, we're all tangents. So anyway, Freaky Tales is the name. So I wanted to talk about just some of the things that we've done throughout the years. And again, this is TMI. We are the king and queen of TMI. So if you are cringy and you have issues talking about your sexuality and sex, you may not enjoy this podcast moving forward.
Right. Or that too. Right. And also too, looking at us in a certain light. I was talking to some people about that today.
How they look at us. Okay, so I get a lot of people who think that I'm the first lady of a church, or who somehow feel that I'm this prim and proper chick. No.
Yeah, she's not.
I am fucked up. There is no way for me to be married to this guy if I am not also equally fucked up. So now that we have that clear, I cuss. I have a filthy fucking mouth. I have filthy music. Yes, when you listen to my music, it's filthy. Okay? Right. But I'm as real as it's gonna get. Right. You know, he's as real as it's gonna get. So, you know, we're gonna talk about everything. And like this being Freaky Tales, it's a lot of it is funny now, but in the, back then we thought we were doing big shit.
Right.
But now that we've said that.
Right. And my part of it too, I'm the same way. People have this idea that, they hear me talk and they already have this perception of, how I carry myself and all this. And, a lot of people, it's the funniest thing about when people meet me, right? For one, they talk to me over the phone and then they meet me and they go, okay, yeah, I didn't
Why, because you talk so proper?
Yeah, because I talk so proper. But I'm losing the proper accent, by the way.
Well, yeah, because you're married to a Negro.
Right. Those Negro womans. But and then they think I'm square. That's the funniest part.
No, I think they think you're mean too.
That's the funniest part.
It's weird when people are afraid to approach you because they think that you're this mean asshole and you're like one of the coolest dudes like I've ever met.
Thank you so much.
I've never told you that. You are one of the coolest dudes I've ever met. Like we can actually kick it.
Right. That's what makes shit work with us. We can
true.
actually kick it and do what we're doing now.
That's true.
So go ahead. You said Freaky Tales.
Freaky Tales. So Freaky Tales, we're gonna get into like some of the stories because we have a lot of funny sex stories, things that we have encountered and done and tried to do. We won't get into all of them in this 30-minute conversation. We won't because there's a lot of shit. But
right.
I think when I was putting together the notes for this particular show, I was thinking about the one time when we were at the Embassy Suites.
Oh,
Remember?
okay. Oh, yeah, I can tell that one.
So that was the first time I'd ever tried ecstasy. This was like, 2001, 2002?
That was I could have swore it felt like 99.
No.
But Maya was just born, so it was like 2000.
It's 2000.
I think it was 2000.
So I tried ecstasy for the first time. So I took a pill. It's not really working.
Well, let me tell the story.
Okay, Justin, you tell
the
story.
So, yeah. All right. So it starts out, it was a dark, steamy night.
Oh, yes.
But no.
Get into it.
Right? To all the details. No, we were at a party. Who was it? It was
Lisa's. It was Lisa's birthday.
Lisa's birthday party. A friend of ours, Lisa's birthday. How you doing, Lisa? Birthday party, right? So we're all sitting there, and, the night is going like, we're having a good time. Not saying Lisa's party sucked. I ain't going to tell myself. But, it was just, it was just work people. Yeah. I think it was a lot of people from work.
It was a lot of my job people.
Yeah, so everybody was kind of like, hey, we're having fun, we're drinking, some music's playing, you having a good time? I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool, all right, whatever. And then so a friend of ours, I will not say his name, but he knows who he is.
Pony Boy.
Yeah. It's like, hey man, I got this really great idea. Have y'all ever tried X before? And we're like, nah.
I've never heard this part of the story, but go ahead.
Nah, he's like, new. Well, my boy got some over here, and it'll be fun,
I always thought that was your idea.
It was.
Okay.
But he mentioned it, and I was like, all right, cool.
Okay.
Let's, I think that's how the night went. I don't fucking remember too much. But, so anyway, he gives it to us, and it's like 4 or 5 tabs or whatever, right? So then we're like, okay, cool. So, we was like, me and Kara are going to get this room at the hotel and all this stuff. Maybe you guys should get a room there, too. And then we're going to stay there and, and have some fun because we don't feel like driving back that night and all that. And everybody's like, yeah, that sounds like something, we can do, whatever. Yeah. So, I give Kara one of the tabs. This is like on the way there, and we stop by the liquor store or whatever it was.
Happening.
Huh?
I'm complaining because nothing is happening.
Yeah, Kara's complaining because nothing is happening. She's like, this is some dud shit. So
and it's been like 10 minutes in.
It was like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, damn, I guess it was a dud, or I guess it was just some bullshit, whatever. I was like, here, just take this other one and just finish it off.
He gives me a second. First time take. And this is not the new E. This is like the old
school good shit from the early 2000s.
Not the shit from the 2010s.
Right.
The shit from like early 2000s.
To keep your ass in the club.
Another time later on in life wasn't so good. But go ahead.
Yeah, it'll keep you in the motherfucking club all night long level shit, right?
Will.
So then she gets the shit. So then we're on the way back, and and then we get to the hotel, and I'm just like, all right, we're here. Let's go ahead and do what we're gonna do. So I think we went upstairs.
Yeah.
We got the room. We went upstairs. Yeah. You came down for somebody.
I came down to get Pony Boy.
Yeah. Right. And then boom.
So I'm coming down the elevator, and all of a sudden I feel the urge to fly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the elevator. I'm like, I'm flying.
She was amped up, flying like a fucking eagle, right?
So, I come down the elevator. I'm on the floor. I'm telling everybody, I can fly, y'all. We can all fly. Just think positive thoughts. Yeah.
Right? So then, hold on. So then, Pony Boy calls me, and he's like, your wife is downstairs in the lobby, and she's swimming. And I was like, fuck. I already knew what was up because I knew immediately. I was like, shit, that shit is... So anyway... You were down in the lobby and you were doing the whole swim thing, and he was trying to help you into the elevator, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is going to be a long ass fucking night."
We thought we'd he thought we'd get arrested,
right?
Yeah, it was more funny than anything else. So
he
ushers me into the elevator. We come upstairs. I come through the room.
Right, you come through the room.
Through the door.
You come through the door, and you're just talking all types of crazy mad shit. You're like out of your mind. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, shit. Now's the time to go ahead and do some shit because you're talking mad shit. I'm gonna do this. All this other shit. I'm like, yo, let's get this shit popping. Remember, this is the first time I never actually had relations with a woman on that shit before. Yeah. So honestly, truth be told, that shit is off the chain. So So anyway, the whole thing started. We started having sex. We ended up tearing up the whole fucking the whole room and shit. Shit was all over the place. Yeah, for no reason.
Throwing chairs on the floor.
It was like aggression.
Pillows.
Right?
It was. I think you tore down the curtain.
No, that was on. Okay, that was a different part of the story.
Okay.
That was a different
My
part
bad.
Of the story. So no, I tore down the curtain because Pony Boy kept checking on us. And him and Lisa was standing outside. Okay. And then they kept knocking on the thing, and I was like, "What?" And I was like, "What?" And then I came and meant to just open the curtain and tore it down. And then they were standing out there looking at me, and then they looked down, they're like, "Fuck!" And they both turn around and walk off real fast. I was like, "What the hell is wrong with them?" And I realized that I had nothing on. I absolutely had nothing on, and I answered the door angry.
Yes.
Angry. And they were just like,
everything was angry.
Everything was angry, and it was like, that's some aggressive ass shit right there. So anyway, all right. So moving on.
Yeah. So we're inside the room. I'm high out of my mind. I think this was the first time I'd ever gotten high. Period.
Right. Yeah, I think it was.
So this is the first time I've ever gotten high. Period. Off of 2 tabs.
And you had just some brown liquor.
Probably some Hennessy.
Shit out. Yeah,
probably
I don't know
Hennessy.
what it was. I don't know what
but
it was.
I was out of my mind. So we having sex is ridiculous. So I'm like, let's get some lube. Now, we don't have any lube. So we go into the restroom. We're in the bathroom of the embassy suites just looking for anything we could use as lube. So Justin's like, I got something. So we go back to the room and we just like getting into it. And all of a sudden, I'm like, bubbles.
Yeah, bubbles are like popping out everywhere. And
bubbles.
And come to find out, it was shampoo.
Yeah.
And it made an insane amount of bubbles come out of you. And it was the weirdest shit I've ever.
But did you stop though?
I know. A nigga can fuck to a siren. A nigga can fuck to a song, a siren, and can fuck to bubbles.
Okay.
And so I didn't stop anything.
I think that was the funniest to me, the one that stands out the most. The bubble incident is what we call it. The bubble incident, Bubblegate. Bubblegate was the funniest sexual thing.
Well, there is a few more. Okay. This was one of the funniest ones. This was back in the day when we had our first apartment. It was off of Forum Park.
Bissonnette
Forum Park. Man, we used to stay in the fucking hood. So when we first came to Houston, our first apartment, you were 19.
Yeah. And
I just had just turned 21, and we had this raggedy apartment over off of Bissonnette. My man Forrest was staying with me at the time. And we was doing raggedy as fuck, but it was funny. I
didn't think so though. I thought that y'all were doing better than any dudes I'd ever met, because most dudes didn't have anything.
Yeah, most dudes didn't even have a fucking bed.
No, y'all had a fully furnished apartment.
Right.
Y'all were doing
thanks to Rent-A-Center. Hell yeah. Right. Yeah, food in the refrigerator and equipment in the corner.
Yes.
Yeah, we had all my drum machines and keyboards and shit in the corner.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, when we had first started and we had first fell in love, we would always take these really long showers together.
We did.
And that bathroom was fucking tiny as shit. I mean, literally, you can like do the whole Spider-Man thing on the bathroom when you put your hands on both sides of the wall and creep up. I mean, that's how little this bathroom was. It was like New York style. And so anyway, we would always do this long thing where we'd kiss and we look at each other in the mirror. This is before you had phones where you could take pictures. So you just look at yourself in the mirror and be like, and kiss and all this shit. So then one day we started doing that, and then we started kind of getting into some sexual shit on the toilet, and I was like, man, I'm gonna sit on the toilet like they do in those porn movies and shit. You get on top of me, you know. I didn't realize how much we weighed. And
we were little though. We weren't like big. This like.
No,
I 140 pounds. You're like 185.
Yeah, I was 170.
Yeah, so you were no big guy. We weren't big people. We were just.
But
doing
it was
the
a cheap
most.
toilet.
No, we were doing the absolute most.
Beyond the motherfucking most, right? So then anyways, we were on the toilet. Kara, as soon as she gets on top of me and I'm holding her, the fucking toilet splits in half. I mean, not like just like a chunk came off. I mean, it cracked down the fucking center. It was like 2 toilets like this. Yeah. Then the water came gushing out.
Yeah.
And then the shit turned off everybody's electric in the whole sector that we was in.
Yeah, but the thing too is that we had company. People were at our apartment.
People were at the apartment. They're like, well, what's up? I was like,
so all of a sudden water comes underneath the door.
Right.
And we hear them say, because we were in our thing, we didn't even realize we were in a fucking zone. We didn't even realize that we had broke the toilet until you fell.
Mm-hmm.
So
ass just all in that porcelain. That shit was wild as hell. But
and they're like, what's going on in there? Like, why is there water all in the living room? And we're like, we don't know.
Yeah, we're just like, oh man, the water's leaking over the tub. Don't worry about it. We cool. And they're like, but you know, they heard something like, but what was that noise? I'm like, nah, man, it's cool. I fell, you know, whatever. I was like really trying to play it off. But the fact of the matter is, like I said, yeah, the water creeped under the carpet and then somehow it got into
so we
electric.
had to get new carpet.
Yeah, new carpet. And then like you said, they cut off the lights for everybody. It was like a little, you know, you had like 4 people in one little area, 4 apartments. So they cut off the lights, and people were like, "What the fuck is going on?" So that was really funny at the time. Yeah. But it was embarrassing as hell.
That was the most. I think that may be the most embarrassing sexual thing because now you have to be in front of your man, all his homeboys.
Yeah, right.
and they looking at you.
and they go in there and they look at the toilet broken in half and like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, so you looking like a hoe. Even though you married though, like, wow, you doing a walk of shame as a married woman is a weird situation. But
that was good.
Yeah,
that
was
good.
fun.
That was in the very beginning.
Yeah.
Man, that was like what our first 6 months of marriage. Our first 6 months of marriage. Yeah. That was.
And then the guy coming to fix the toilet and asking us what happened.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't even remember what I told him. It was some bullshit I made up on the spot as usual.
I went to school. I had no time for
that.
Right.
But yeah, that we had some wild times, you know. And I always tell people, man, you know, this is just to let you know, too, people that follow the show, people that are tuning in, and the new fans that we're getting. Man, participate in that chat. You know what I'm saying? Give us some stories. We got a lot of stories. We got actually guests that are gonna start coming on the newer shows, and so forth. But yeah, we definitely want to hear your stories. You know, you don't have to tell too much. But you know, we always love to hear other stories from other people because you know
we want this to be a conversation. At the end of the day,
it wants to be a conversation. So don't be scared to talk about it or say something. Whenever you just want to do it in the DM, that's cool. We will not use your name.
We won't. We'll put it as anonymous.
We'll put it as anonymous, right?
Your privacy, but let us know. You know, because it's cool as we continue to dialogue past the show. And we know, you know, what y'all are thinking and maybe even find out, too, some new things that we don't even know about, right, babe?
Definitely.
So what else? What's some other, what?
No,
what was that look for?
No, I was like, when you said that, like 30 of them popped up, and then I started going through them, and I was like, not that one.
Oh, you got some shit you haven't introduced me to.
Yeah, I know, right?
I think most of our situations, what we've gotten into, the debauchery, the dark shit was because of you and your ideas.
Yeah.
Because I'm the kind of person, I'm like, I'll tag along for it. I'm always game. I'm game for some bullshit. I'm with the shits. But
no, that's what I like about you. I'm like, I'm just gonna toss her away and she'll try it once. So I can always have that one shot, that one bullet in the chamber.
You got one time.
No, okay. Here's the last one that was really funny, and I liked it a lot. And this is actually my favorite one. Right.
Which one?
So let me go and tell the story. Right. Okay. So we go to the Westin downtown. Right. That's like one of our favorite places. No, I'm not inviting any motherfuckers up there. So I ain't telling you when to be there, but it's one of our favorite places out of few that we go to have our staycations and all that good shit, right? So anyway, we get there one night and you know, we're doing our normal party thing. It was beautiful out. I'll never forget the skyline was so beautiful. You can see the stars overlooking the Astro Stadium, and we're just like, man, this is awesome. Let's open up the fucking curtains. So the curtains are opening up. We're like on the 9th or 10th floor. So we're way up there. I'm like, man, who's fucking gonna see this shit? You know, no one's even with us, so they can't really see in the room, right? All right. So anyway, the curtains are open, and I mean, literally, we're having sex probably for like 2 hours. I mean, the TV is on, so it's lighting up the room. I didn't even think we left the lamp on, and we're doing.
No, we had the bathroom light on.
The bathroom light on, so we're going. I mean, we're going buck wild. We're doing all this shit that we do from fucking wall to floor, all this bullshit that's going on,
to the window,
and we're just like, man, we're getting it in. We're having a great time. Music is fucking playing. We're drinking, and then I'm like, man, this is so awesome. I'm standing on the bed, and then we're doing all this crazy shit. You know, Kara's doing all this and all. And so I look up. And there's 2 balconies full of fucking people with their phones like this. And this other chick had her hands up like this, like she was looking through goggles. And they're all drinking. And I'm like, holy shit. They've been there for like an hour.
Kira, look up. I look up. And they can see us looking at them.
And they're just staring at us.
They started to stare at us. And then 2 of them started to clap.
Right. And
I'm just like, oh my God. So I'm freaking out. We're parents now.
I know.
And we care a little bit about.
Because, you know, always the worst thing is like when your kids see some shit.
It's like, fuck my family. I love my family, but I don't care what they think like that.
Right.
But what your kids think.
I saw your mama doing some shit. I saw your mama getting her jaws broken in. You know,
your mama a freak.
I know, right?
And I think that was one of the nights we were doing some weird shit. Like,
we do weird shit every night.
Well, that was one of the nights where we really started getting into the ties.
Oh yeah, that was that bondage.
Yeah, bondage.
Shit.
I hate bondage. I hate it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, but he really wanted the bondage shit. So I'm like, damn, not only did they catch us doing some strange, some extra shit, as Lisa would say.
Strange for change.
Yeah, they caught me doing some extra shit that day. And it was just like, God damn, this shit gonna end up on World Star.
I know, right? I literally thought that someone was gonna post it.
It may be, but we don't know.
It probably,
You know how much shit is online?
I know,
right?
So when it came in,
speaking of all the wild shit that people be doing online and people be getting into. We have our girl, one of the people that's closest to us actually right now. Hopefully none of this rubs off on her, but I think it already has. Justin.
Probably has. But I don't know. You know, we are the beacon for wild shit.
We are.
And you know, and I say that in a good way, because a lot of times when I say that, people always go, oh, so you know, you're giving people permission, and so what's up? We do wild shit too. No, motherfucker. I just said I like doing wild shit. I mean that I don't want to.
My idea wild and your idea wild
two different things.
Not the same.
Right.
But we got Kyla at the table with us.
Hello, welcome, Kyla.
Oh, she on the date night with us. Oh, it's a threesome.
She's on the date night.
What's up, Kyla? So. This is why I want to bring Kyla on. I'm going to introduce Kyla. Is like one of our best friends. Like most things that we do, from our companies to our family shit, we could not do them without Kyla. So me and Kyla are sitting having a conversation, talking about today's topic. And I'm talking about things from like, I need somebody to come on and talk about the single perspective, because we haven't been single in fucking 20 years. Mm-hmm. So all this new age stuff, we don't connect to. We know of it, but it's not real to us because we haven't done it, you know.
Right. Especially the online dating.
Yeah. So, and sex, you know, and sex in this age is so different than
it's more,
is.
I think personally, sex in this age is a little more accepted.
Yeah.
Because not the stories you hear from your kids, but just I know, right? It's like, but just it's way more accepted. Yeah. You know, it's way more accepted. You know, we come from that 90s, that 90s era.
Don't tell
you know,
nobody.
Two position nights.
People in the bed with them taking pictures.
Right. Yeah, now it's like some, you know, I know what it is. I think it is. I'm just going off on a tangent again.
And then we're going to get Kyla on, because I want to hear what Kyla. Okay.
It's. I think that women's sexuality is starting to get more accepted. So when a woman comes out and she's pretty much open with her sexuality or open what she likes, it's more so like people are like, okay, cool. You know, they give her dap compared to even just 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
10.
Yeah. People are just like, oh, you know, they automatically go, oh, you know, she likes to do that. Oh, she's a hoe. She's this, she's that, you know. And
well,
then
they still do that, but women are just like, so?
Okay, I mean, you know, like, I'm going to give you an example, right? I'm sorry, one more tangent.
Okay.
It just, you know, porn stars, right?
Yeah.
So, there's this one porn star named Mia Khalifa, I think her name is, right?
Mia Khalifa.
Mia Khalifa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody's seen her shit online, right?
Yeah.
Some of it's pretty. I ain't gonna say grotesque, but some, it's over the top.
Yeah.
She doing all types of crazy shit, gangbangs, all this other shit, right? She does all that shit for all those years, right? And then boom, gets married just like that.
Yeah, she gets to settle down and
and
change her life.
then all of a sudden now she can go on social media. She has all these followers. She has all this respect. She's business offers, all that. That's crazy, compared to years ago, a woman just showed her nipples online.
Too, she's not black, and I think too that's a
no. Hold on though, but she's
black?
Middle Eastern.
Oh shit, that's.
So people consider that to be worse, right?
Yeah.
So, that's what I'm saying. It's weird how that now is just completely changed.
Yeah.
It's just accepted. It's the norm.
Okay, so let's ask Kyla, because she lives in this world that we're talking about.
In the porn world?
No,
she doesn't.
No.
She's not a porn star.
She lives in this new world.
I know, I'm just fucking with her.
Stop. Hi, Kyla.
Hi, Kira.
How are you? So I was telling Justin, we need the single perspective on some of this stuff because we don't have the single perspective. We sit in our little bubble and we talk what we think, is happening in your world, in today's world, because you're a millennial. So y'all think is...
But I don't
consider myself a millennial. You are a millennial.
No.
You're not a millennial?
No.
Why don't you consider yourself a millennial?
Start? Like,
you're a millennial. You're a millennial.
How old are you?
Over 30.
You're a millennial. Are you less than 35?
Yeah.
You're a millennial.
Yeah, you're a millennial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you're at the cusp, but
Yeah.
but you are a millennial. I know that you're a millennial because of the way that you think and the way that you act with technology. You're way more comfortable with it. It's like a way of life. Like even when I have you do stuff, like you like here, you can just get an app and do that. You don't got to do all that. I'm like, oh.
Right.
Okay.
You're getting old.
Right?
We'll do shit the long way.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
But I wanted to ask you, and we were going to talk about it the other day, and I said, no, let's save it for the show. So now that we're here, I have these questions. Like, a lot of y'all don't get married. A lot of millennial women don't feel the pressure and the need to get married like our generation did. Like, that was like something you had to do. Otherwise, you were failing in life, and y'all don't, And I know a lot of y'all feel like, so I'll just ask you as it relates to sex. Do y'all bypass getting married because of the sex? And like, how does that play into that decision? Like sex and being single versus getting married. Does it play into that?
Well, for starters, I really don't see myself getting married.
Why?
Because I can still be with somebody and not, have that written paper to show that we're married, like all of these years. Like, what's the point? But then again, I see marriage as a business.
Okay. I see marriage as a business, too.
And so with, like, sex in a relationship, as far as married and single, depending on the person who you're married to, if you all are compatible with each other, then versus being single, it's like, you can,
Well, let me ask you this. When you've gotten into relationships, let's not even say marriage, let's just say relationships.
Okay.
Do you feel like relationships change the dynamics of sex?
Yes. For me, it did. Like,
really?
Yeah. For my last relationship, it was hard to be in a relationship because I was still outsourcing.
Yeah.
Other men.
But was it good before y'all got into a relationship when y'all were just hooking up?
Yeah.
So hooking up, it was good. It was good sex, but getting into that relationship changed it.
Yeah, because I never wanted to be with just one person.
I can see that now. See, that's what I'm saying. That's how people are now.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, where this comes from, I think, is that you meet somebody and where you're at and where they're at, and then they just don't fulfill you all the way. So then you like that person, you want to stay with that person, but then you're like, man, if I can just get this one or two items over here, then I could kind of be happy. And then it kind of goes, and then you get stuck in a situation because a lot of people don't accept that, of course. But yeah, I definitely see that because a lot of times it just, I don't know about this age, but I hear that a lot from women. Motherfuckers just they're not being fulfilled.
So were you y'all were hooking up, then y'all got into a relationship, and the sex changed because you didn't like just having sex with one person.
Well, the sex didn't change. It was just that I still wanted other options. Like I didn't want to be tied down to just one person.
Right.
And that's real. I feel like if more people were honest about that, you know, and just, or decided not to marry or decide to tell the person, hey, let's create some new rules around this shit because this one partner thing won't work for me. I think that people, if they really had those conversations, they would realize that most people or a lot of people feel that way, you know, and try to bypass like the cheating and all that type of stuff, because now you're being realistic about what you can bring to a relationship or what would happen in that relationship. So I feel like if you do that, then that's a good way to mitigate problems later on.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that definitely. And like I said, and even with you, like I said, you fulfill me. You really do. Even all the wild shit that I do, and even the wild shit I mention and things, all that, it's still at the end of the day, you fulfill me. And another thing is, I know for 100% fact, I never settled with you.
Yeah, but you have a lot of fantasies, and I think that having a fantasy is something above and beyond your standard day-to-day sex or whatever. So you having an adventurous mind when it comes to fantasies and sex is actually exciting to me, because I know it'll be a new adventure. So for me, being a person who likes an adventure in sex, life, whatever, that's dope to me. Right. That's dope to me.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, so we're asking about relationships and how sex changes a relationship, and you were saying that it doesn't change in the relationship, but that desire, excuse me, that desire to be with one person kind of it doesn't come. You still wanted to, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that.
It's like, it was on him. He was being persistent, and I was like, I'll give this a try.
Okay.
But then, yeah, we had good sex, and it was all fun, but it was like I still wanted, like, options, like.
Yeah.
But do you think you wanted that because he just didn't actually get you there? He didn't, because, you know, like, there's a certain point where you can touch a woman, right? And sex only goes so far, but there's that point in time when you touch her spirit, her mind, and everything else, and there's like a connection, and then you know, like, okay, this is some real shit right here. Did you actually feel like you got that feeling, or do you feel like you really honestly didn't get that feeling?
I didn't get that feeling.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten that feeling before?
Yeah.
Did you settle down with that guy?
No.
So then, then
because I still like.
So it's not the sex. So what I'm hearing Kyla say, the sex, the commitment is the commitment. But the thing is, the idea of being with one person for. I mean, I'll be honest. That is people. I say this a lot. Like, people will hold themselves to a diet. You know, will say, I'm gonna take this diet, and they can't stay on the diet, right? So you can't
faithful diet. You
can't be on a diet. You're on a yo-yo diet every single month. But and that's something you're doing for yourself, right? But you expect somebody else to be faithful and committed to everything involved, you know, with you, and you can't even stay. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place here, but I'm saying you can't even stick with a diet, you know what I'm saying, for yourself. But you expect this other person to have all of these faithful things for you forever
until death do
exactly.
you part.
But you can't even stay on a diet for your own health. For your own whatever. But you hold this person to the expectation of fidelity to all things. And that's always weird to me.
It is.
You know?
It is. And I think it's kind of unreasonable. It's kind of unreal almost in a way.
It is.
You know?
And we'll talk about how you can get around that a little bit. But I wanted to ask you too, as far as like, because the topic of the show is freaky tales. So you knew it was gonna happen.
Hot seat. So just let you know, anytime we invite anybody here, the whole thing about this show, remember, at the end of the day, is about that vulnerability.
Yes.
It's about that, you know, don't get me wrong, it's not to pry into people's information.
Yeah.
But it's to say, hey, look, you got some shit you just want to say? Fuck it. To say it to everybody.
Say it.
It make you feel better.
This is a safe space.
It's a therapy.
To be exactly who you are. No judgment.
Right. No judgment zone.
The crazier, the better, because we like crazy shit like that. But tell us, what is one of your freakiest tales? Or tell us a few of your freakiest tales. Whatever. Go ahead.
I'll start off with, I had 2 male, female threesomes in one day.
What? I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So, tell me, child.
And the second one was with 2 bisexual men.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah, that one.
Damn. Now, okay. Well,
wait. That
was a KO right there.
That's actually a real threesome. That's actually a real threesome. When
Here we
to
go.
the people. Okay, so yes, let's talk
Carry on
about
that
it.
shit again. Carry on
So
that
you
shit
had
again.
two threesomes in one day.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was with who?
2 straight men.
2 straight men. So they didn't touch each other; they just touched you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one was with 2 bisexual men.
Mhm.
So everybody was touching everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
I'm like, all right, I'm cool, you know. But no, I that is.
What did you like it?
That's an
Yeah,
What did you
experience.
like the
it was
most? The one with
because
the 2 straight men or the 2 bisexual?
well, I enjoy them both.
okay.
But the one that was fascinating was the one with the bisexual men because to see a man get dominated like that, I was like, wow.
Define dominated.
Oh my God, here we go. These 2 got a fucking boner, man. I could.
I do not have a shut. You can close your ears.
No, I'm good. I'm
Okay.
just fucking with them. I'm always playing devil's advocate with the shit. I'm always playing devil's advocate. But go ahead.
It's like to see a man in all of his masculinity.
Mhm.
And then
So these were masculine bisexual men.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then seeing one, getting fucked in the ass is like, and him making some of the noises that I'm making, it's like,
So
wow.
were they passionate with each other, or
Well,
was it just more just?
They knew. I mean, they were a couple.
So they were kissing and hugged up.
Well, no.
no,
I mean,
it was just the sex.
Yeah.
Man, shit.
It was.
yeah. I was like, wow, this is dope.
It was dope. So how did they involve you into the? Were you as involved with them as they were with each other? Okay, because I always hate the pornos.
Well, that's because it's pornos.
Where they forget the woman is sitting there.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like, come on.
it's-
I mean,
this
they did a
guy's
few
like-
times. I was like,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
it's the paycheck porno where
Yeah.
you can tell they just doing that shit for a check. They're like, all right, as soon as
Paycheck
it's done, the check gonna be written. Like, all right, cool, let's get this done. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No passion, no nothing.
Yeah.
Just dry shit, just for
Yeah.
the check. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate
know.
porno with
Stripper
no passion.
sex.
I hate fake orgasms. Anyway, that's just me. But
Yeah, me
okay,
too. I
Kyla,
like that.
All right.
we're listening. So, was this like in the morning and then later on in the
Yeah.
the evening?
Yeah,
Oh, so
it
you
was a
went home,
lot of
took a
dick. I
nap,
was
and then you
very,
went
very,
back.
yeah, it was a lot of dick. It was. I was just,
I'm joking.
Let's go to a commercial.
Went home, got a
But
little nap,
the
ate a
thing
snack.
is, the thing is being able to do that though, because I'm gonna be honest with you, if you flip the script,
Yeah.
and I tell you that story,
Yeah.
that's boss shit for me.
It is, but see, the thing about me is like,
Mhm.
you know me, when it comes to sexuality,
Mhm.
I don't care. That's
Right.
like people's business what they choose to do, and I feel like most people don't swing, to
Mhm.
one side fully anyway. So I
Right,
feel like
right.
there's always some sort of delineation and mixtures and
Mhm.
all that type of stuff going on when it comes to sexuality. But I think that it's dope that you had the confidence to just go and do what you wanted to do sexually. I think that
yeah,
is.
no, I agree.
Yeah, and I think that that's the thing about being freaky. Like, some people think that being freaky is, oh, girl, and he bent me over and we did it doggy
No,
style.
no. Well, no.
What?
No, a lot of people
Doggy
think
style is not freaky. Oral sex is not freaky.
that's
Doggy
standard.
style,
That's
that is standard sexual shit. If you're talking about being freaky and that is your idea of being freaky, don't talk to me.
and see, everybody has
Don't talk to anybody.
everybody
Talk
has
to
their own
anybody. Keep that shit
definition
to
of
yourself.
what they consider a freak or what
Yeah.
freak is.
Also, let me just say this too: freaky is not having
A lot of sex.
Just
That
because
make
you
you
lay
a
on your
hoe.
back and you missionary with 10 people in 1 week,
Yeah.
that doesn't make you a freak.
That make you a hoe.
That just makes you.
How
Yeah,
does
it
that
does.
make you a hoe?
I'm just
Okay, okay.
kidding.
It doesn't even make you a hoe. This makes you mundane as fuck.
Yeah,
you know
but
what
I'm saying a lot of sex
Right.
doesn't make you freaky.
Well, also
It's the type
Right.
of sex that makes you freaky.
quantity over quality.
Exactly.
Quantity over
No,
fucking.
not quantity.
No. I mean, quality over
Look,
quantity.
See, they say you keep talking and the real shit start. Well, let's talk about this quantity.
Quantity.
Justin Kraft.
I slipped up. I'm caught. I'm busted. That's it. I'm off the show. But yeah, no, it is. I'm sorry. I got it mixed up. It's been a long fucking day. But yeah, it definitely is quality over quantity.
It is.
It is. I know people they just fuck anything that moves, right?
Yeah.
And then she got a big ass, she got big tits. Okay, then just do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, there has to be something
More.
there than just that tied. It just, if that's the case, you just doing the same shit over and over and over and
Yeah.
over and over and over just to get a notch in your belt. But what experience are you gaining? Is there something new that you're getting? Is there something,
you know what's kept me faithful as far as sex is that
as far as sex,
right? Emotionally, no. But as far as sex is that I cannot sleep with somebody that I don't love.
Yeah.
And I'm the opposite.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, for me with sex is just like, I don't know, it could be my upbringing as far as like my childhood and some of my experiences growing up. I have to feel a level of safety with somebody, and not just, I don't feel like he gonna hurt me, but spiritual safety. Like I don't want to be hurt like afterwards. So it's like I have to have that love connection because sex, and I'm not saying it's more important to me than it is to you. So that's not the distinction I'm making, but it's for me, for you to have sex, for you to touch me, I feel like I'm doing you an honor because I understand what I'm giving in that moment. Yeah. You know, so it's like, nah, if you getting this from me, you are important.
Exactly. And a lot of people, they just you know, they don't get that, you know, they don't get that depth of it.
But see, the thing is though, everybody doesn't feel that way.
Nah.
And it's okay for everybody not to feel that
but someone
way.
Has
That's
to
just how I feel.
Yeah, but if you have sex with someone, they have to be into you. And I know a lot of guys are not like that. They can just fuck a hole in the wall. You know what I'm saying? No, seriously, it doesn't matter to them.
I was told that men fuck their hands.
Yeah.
So
right. In gym socks and shit.
Yes, right. So
you know, but I still don't, like, that's what keeps me, like, you know, where I am. You know, I couldn't do shit with just a person that was not into you.
No, I just think that it's because I'm just so goddamn amazing.
That could be it too.
You know, you know, fucking with
Justin
somebody
taught
else
you.
is just gonna, you know, not live up to the standard of
that's another thing. When your standards are fucking high.
What?
Or when
Wait, let's talk about these standards. I like where you were going with that. What's your standard now? That you
it just always tell me, you know.
Wait,
like,
so look, before you say that, I just want to clarify. You're saying that fucking me is a high standard.
Yeah, it's like a Bugatti. And then when these Honda Accords come around, I'm like, why would I go from a Bugatti to a Honda Accord just because the Honda Accord is free?
Oh, thank you, baby.
Yeah, just let you know.
Nobody have ever said to me that. Well, I mean,
there you go, baby.
You know,
I
said nobody ever said to me, but it's not like a lot of people.
But
now look at the camera.
I know, right? Then we have the phone here. The lines be lighting up.
Exactly. But, my mom starts calling my cell phone. Excuse me.
But anyway, back to Kyla because we got off on a tangent again.
Did.
Our egos are always interject.
I'm sorry, Kyla.
So how did you even? Okay, so what was how did
that happen? Like, how did you get invited to 2 threesomes? I've never been invited to 2 threesomes.
Well, I didn't get invited. I asked.
Oh, you arranged 2 threesomes.
Yeah. That's some bullshit, man.
Damn it.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah. And they were like game for it. Okay, so this was like a fantasy that you had, and you just made it into.
Yeah, and I was like, I want to try that.
Have you ever done it again since then?
Not with 2 bisexual men.
You know what's crazy though? But I you know, when we used to be on these Facebook pages back in the day.
Yeah.
And we'd always get in these conversations about, you know, the same topic we're having right now. We've been doing this for a while. But women would always come out and say,
I want to have sex with 2 men.
I want to have sex with 2 men. I mean, I get that like across the board.
And every man's statement is, if one dick is in the room, I won't be in the room.
Right? That's a lie because all them beta male ass motherfuckers be doing them trains on them nasty assholes and they all be in a room together.
Taking a turn.
And that's even worse to me because, you know, for you to go 3rd or 4th in line behind some other, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So cut that bullshit out. We know that shit happens. But I know what you're saying.
Would you say that that's indicative of your generation as far as being open to the to having broader sexual experiences? Because our generation, for the most part, is very, very square. And if they do, I would never get one of my friends to admit, or other friends to admit, that they've done some shit like that. You know, and as loud as I am about the things that I have done, you know.
I mean, I really don't. No, that's not with my generation. Like,
people are pretty much free and they talk about it.
No,
they don't. Wait. So you're saying that millennials too are kind of prudish about sex?
Yeah. Because I mean, I see it as they still have a feeling, they still care about what other people will say.
So it's not necessarily the moral aspects of it.
It's the unpopular opinion.
Oh.
And so it's like, me saying this is like, okay, I still have that 5% thought in my head about what people are going to say, but then again, it's like, so it's my truth. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
That.
Yeah, what's going to happen? See, that's the thing about it, right? People are always so...
what ifs.
Yeah, they're always so afraid to like, oh my God, if I do this, that person's going to tell somebody.
Yeah.
And then this whole 6 degrees of separation, now half the Houston's going to... Be honest with you, no one gives a fuck.
Nobody cares. I think the more open you are, the more genuine and dope people you attract to you.
Exactly.
So all that does is you being, free and talking about it and speaking your truth. It pushes the dumbass people away, but the people who you would want to talk to anyway, those are the people that you attract, and those are the friends that you make and you have the dopest experiences with, because they're like, oh my God, finally somebody like me who wants to do something that's different from, the status quo. So.
Right. So, I mean, but like I said, it's just, and I see it, I speak from the black community side.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see that where we put ourselves in those silos,
Yeah.
and we're scared. And keep in mind, this is not about telling the world your business. We want to make sure that message is given out correct here. It's not about just telling your business. Oh, if you just tell your business to everybody accept. No. It's about understanding how and what your sexuality is,
and being honest with it, and not suppressing it and becoming a serial killer.
It and making it into a dirty thing. Remember, the sexuality part of it is not about dirtiness, it's about maturity.
It is.
So when you teach your kids that sex is something dirty and evil,
Yeah.
they're gonna grow up thinking it's dirty and evil. And and then the minute they think anything about sex, they automatically want to flog themselves because they're like, oh shit, I'm doing something wrong. But that's not it. It's not a dirty evil thing. It's just maturity.
It's a maturity thing.
Yeah.
Will told me once when we were talking about like talking to our kids about sex, and
Willie
he said, Willie D.
Yeah, shout out to Willie D.
Will.
Yeah.
He said that actually Will has become one of my greatest mentors when it comes to being an adult, raising children, marriage, a lot of stuff. He has so many jewels. Like some of the conversations that he and I have had have stayed with me, and they are part of my constitution as far as who I am and how I interact.
We got to get Will on here.
We do.
Let's get Will on here.
Yeah, we do. Definitely.
Right.
But he was telling me, like, with kids, you never preach to kids that sex is wrong. You preach to kids that you have to be willing to accept the consequences. Like, sex comes with consequences. So if you're not mature enough or old enough to handle the consequences of a baby, an STD, whatever, the stigma, the reputation, whatever, then you shouldn't be having sex. So it's not that that is wrong or you shouldn't do it. It's just that you're not in a position to handle the consequences of doing it. And I preach that to both of the kids, and so far so good, but I think that it starts there. I think that it starts with parents and the people around you calling you fast or saying you shouldn't be doing a certain thing, or putting a Bible and telling you that this is how they had sex and all of these are the bad
2,000
ways.
motherfucking years.
Yeah, but and then you grow with that, and then you have the teachers who say don't do this, and you get the bad reputation from the kids who are just mad that they didn't get a chance to wild out and do it.
Right.
Right. And then you become an adult who hasn't healed from the traumas of all the misinformation that they've received about sex. So they're square, but they're online at night, like watching white girls, fuck horses and shit. But, and then, they meet a girl who up for some shit, and they'll go out and do all of that, but it scares them about who they are.
Right.
So they shame it, and then they go marry some chick that feel like sucking dick is demeaning. But that's the slippery slope.
Yeah, that's the
I
mundane.
just gave you all that.
She just went there and just like,
So all of that, all that growing up, just to become a woman who feels like sucking dick is demeaning.
Right. This is very personal.
It is
personal.
personal.
This is very
It's
personal. So just let y'all know
My
that
bad.
this really comes from a special place for Kiara, and it's really a special place.
But
personal place.
You shut up. But the thing is, I feel like even your sex life and your appetite for sex, because I am a proponent for marriage. I think that marriage is like the dopest, you know this about me, the dopest experience that you can have in this lifetime is to find like a partner that's just as fucked up as you, and y'all try to figure it out together, and y'all have all these things that y'all get into together, and then you know, you don't have to worry about, you know, being alone or not having somebody to be witness or historian of all of your dope shit. Yeah. But even like some of that, like we didn't do with like 2 bisexual men. So just so y'all don't get those ideas, I'm not saying that about Justin. Don't try with the light skin shit. You know, they got a light skin.
They always try.
No,
they always try.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that we've been able to procure a very dope sexual experience of all proportions into these 20 years. Some I will definitely do again, some I won't, because he's fucking crazy.
Just a little bit.
Just a
little bit.
But I feel like when you find, and we may not, I'll be around to find out if you do meet that one special person where you like, Key, this the one.
It's the one right there.
I mean, I'll say never, but
I'm gonna be honest with you.
In due time.
I never thought I was gonna get married.
Me neither.
When I met her,
at 19.
and then we talked about. I was like, I'd never get fucking married. I think I told you that.
Yeah,
when
we first met.
Yeah,
and I would say the same thing. My idea was to have like 10 boyfriends spread across the world, and I just kind of travel around, see who I want to see. You know,
and see my thoughts as a child. You know, get married, have kids. And I was like, but
you grew up and you like, and your mom and dad are married, so it's just like. And see, I grew up with, I have a stepdad, but I grew up with a very unhealthy view of relationships, and then
we all did
jumped right into a relationship as soon as I could, right?
Right.
But
and the thing is, like a relationship, if you have 2 individuals that don't like each other or, you know, cheat on each other, then what's the point of being in a relationship as far as married?
That's true.
Like, why are you married?
I think that if it ever doesn't work, where I just don't want to be in a marriage, I would let Justin know, though.
Well, you ain't going nowhere. What the fuck you talking about?
Wait, I don't have a choice?
No.
God damn. What am I going to do?
Right? So, no, you ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. No, because we don't break up. Remember, we're from that era that doesn't break up.
That was the pact. So we made this pact that we'll never break up.
Right.
So no matter how much shit we do to each other, we got to stay together.
Got to stay together. It's always and forever.
Poor
always
guy.
and forever.
Poor guy, Kyla. He want to deal with this craziness.
Yeah, you end up getting stuck. But like I said, that's still a very, very interesting.
57. Okay.
Very interesting topic.
Okay.
And you know, I already know that we're gonna run out of time.
Yeah, we are. We're at 57.
Yeah, we're already.
We got 3 minutes left.
We're a few minutes left, but I think I definitely would like to get more from you, a little bit more information.
Like, let's take her to drinks so we can
hear
take
her to drinks and like
more
really
about these.
I said this is like no turning back now.
Oh God!
And then the no turning back thing now.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You know I used to own a publishing company, right? You want to write some of this shit?
I seriously always wanted to write a book.
You got the right one.
Yeah. Right. H-Town Memoirs.
The H-Town, the dripped and draped out life.
So definitely. But yeah. So but no, I like I said, I definitely want to hear more, and we want to hear more from you. Yes. Like I said again.
Oh, I have something.
Come on.
So we have these. Can you see them here? Yes. We have these date night T-shirts. So go to our social media, which is Date Night with the Crafts, CRAFT. That's on IG, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. You can. We're on Apple Music now too.
Yeah, Apple Music.
Apple Music, and also Spotify. So go. Leave us a comment. Tell us your freakiest tales. I'm sure that y'all have some. And the top 3 will get a T-shirt from us.
Yeah, we'll definitely send you a T-shirt.
We'll send it. We'll take care of the shipping and handling and everything. We just want to hear from you and know that y'all out there, that y'all listening, because we want to engage y'all and get these shows even better than they already are.
Yeah, because you know some motherfuckers is already in the DMs telling me shit. So you might as well go ahead and, let let your boy tell the story. And like I said, I'll keep your privacy and your
yes, we will.
Yeah, so we won't do that. Okay. But I definitely want to hear some more stories. And then in the upcoming episodes, we're gonna definitely dedicate some time to sharing some of those. So it'll be fun.
All right,
it'll be fun.
But we want to thank Kyla for being our guest.
Thank
you.
We
know that this is a very, very personal shit. We appreciate you for letting it all hang out with us. Yeah, we want to thank y'all for tuning in. The numbers are growing. Y'all continue to share and listen and tell everybody that y'all know about Date Night with the Crabs so we can keep this thing going. And again, you can find us at Date Night with the Crabs on IG, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. Justin, your handle is
the J Craft Show.
The J Craft Show.
You should see it on the screen. Hopefully it should pop up. But yeah, at J Craft Show on Instagram.
Yes, and mine is Kiera Craft. Yes, so just reach out to us. Let us know what y'all are thinking, and we'll be back next Friday for another episode of Date Night with the Crafts. But we love y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Thank you for spending time with us.
Yes,
and
thank you.
Yes.
Once again, have that date night.
Yes, time to go on our date night. So we're finna get some more information out of Miss Kyla. We may share some of it on the page. So
exactly,
y'all stay tuned. All right.
Love.
Love. Y'all have a good night.
All right.